Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and today we're here to review a Grizzly Tilt table. This is the 7 by 10 inch. It's the Grizzly number G5759. Alright, it tilts 45 degrees in both directions. It's got 17-inch slots, 3 of them on it for your T-nuts. And besides being 7 by 10, it's also a little over 4 3/4 inches tall. That's important to base how tall stuff like that is. And I didn't see that number anywhere on their website. I had to measure it myself. But I only got 18 inches from spindle to table, so how tall things are is important to me. Now, below, down in the doobly-doo down there, I'm going to leave a link to a young fellow's getting his channel started. He's in the Philippines. He doesn't say that any place, but from his accent and from the background scenery, I'd have to guess that's where he's at. And he's a can-do kind of guy. And maybe you'd like to, drop over there and take a look at a few of his videos. He desperately needs some subscribers, just like everybody that starts a channel, So anyway, look right down there. Now there is a story behind this thing. I was watching Pierre's garage, and Pierre got one of those fancy vices that is an angle vise and really heavy duty and suitable for holding things on a milling machine. And he's got a regular, real sure enough milling machine. I don't know if it's a Bridgeport, but it's the same class. Anyway, Pierre dropped that darn vise and broke it. And he fixed it. Being a master machinist he is, he fixed that vise right back like new. So I imagine you've seen it, but if you haven't seen that video, when this one's over, go over to Pierre's channel and take a look at his video of him fixing that angle vise. That's what got me to wanting an angle vise, and then somehow it got into tilt table. And so in April I ordered this tilt table. And in a few days I got a notice from Grizzly that it was back ordered, and I could cancel the order or I could wait till it came in. So I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, and I had a whole bunch of waiteds on that. And it came September, almost the middle of September, and they still didn't have it. And I said, well, I'm going to look around, So I found another tool company that said they had a 7 by 10 angle tilt table, and I don't know whether you want to call it angle table or tilt table. Anyway, so I ordered it, and I waited and waited, and after they said that it's going to ship within 2 days. After a week, I kept checking, and it hadn't shipped. And I called the guy on the phone, and he says, I don't have any of those. He says, I was going to give you a call. And I thought, son of a gun. In the meantime, after I placed that order, like the next day or something, I got a notice from Grizzly. They had the thing in stock and limited quantity, and if you want it, you better get it, So I thought, son of a gun, if I'd waited this guy to call me, they'd have probably sold out at Grizzly. So I canceled his order, as you'd expect, and went and reordered the thing at Grizzly, and in 2 days they had it here from Missouri. Alright, now we really are going to get on with things, huh? Oh, I just thought of something that I meant to say. You need to keep in mind that I'm an amateur at this machine shop stuff, and my tools and such may not be as good as some of the others. So the review I do here, you need to take it with a grain of salt, because I may make mistakes that are misleading or something. So look at it and think hard on it, and then add and subtract a little bit to make up for me being an amateur machinist. One part of cleaning up to test the accuracy of things is to stone the table. In this case, it's good to get stoned. Probably the only case where it's good to get stoned. And even the light stoning to the bottom of the new tool, just in case it picked up any dings in transit. Alright, so I've got this little eye gauging level cube, or they call it the angle cube, and I've zeroed it with the table, so it's going to be level with the table. And I was going to set it up here, and it's zero up there, so, well, not really, it's 0.15. I'll try to get it sort of close to zero, and then I'll tighten this thing down. Alright, there we go. Anyway, that looks a lot like zero right there. Well, I'll tighten all this stuff down and then double check it again, and then I'll wake you back up. Alright, so what we're going to try to do here is to line this thing up square with the table, and the reason I'm going to do that is so that everything else I do should be equally wonderful. Alright, so let's see how far off we are right now. I gotta look here and see if you guys can see anything. I don't know if you can see anything or not. But anyway, we're not dead on with it, and I can't hold the mirror for you and for me too and get this thing right. So I'm gonna let you sleep while I line this up a little bit. Well, this may not be Tom Lipton accurate, or Randy Richard accurate, or Mr. Pete accurate, but it's redneck accurate. I'll run her down to the other end and we'll see how close we are to the zero down there. And there you are. That's got to be at least within a half thousandth, or maybe less. And for a redneck, that's doing pretty darn good, and we're going to keep it right there. It's all bolted down and ready. So now I got to change the setup on my dial indicator, or as Double Boost calls it, the clock. Folks, it's high noon in Texas, so I guess I can either get out of town or get something to eat. But you can sleep while I do that, or you can grab a snack, whatever. Alright, I put my camera on a sky hook, and we'll let this thing down until it hits something. And it's turning around towards zero, but you can see the zero better over here. I always meant to knock something over, I guess. Alright, so let's turn the zero around here where it looks like zero on this side. And, well, all we got to do now is move the table and see if this thing's level. So let's give it a shot. Now that was something, I don't know what. I think it's probably the stability of my indicator holder there. So I'm going to put you guys back to sleep and make sure that that's, yeah, it's not as stable as it could be. I need to fix this a little tighter. Alright, so I put on my redneck intercom, and that's a lot more stable than I was. And this, well, you can't see the darn thing, can you? Let's see. There we go. It's in a different spot now, so I got to reset the camera where you guys can see. And it's not going to be a perfect angle for you. Let's see if I can bring it over like this. Might improve your viewing angle and cut out parallax. We'll get it said. These big words are hard for us rednecks. Alright, so zoom in a little bit. There, you can see it pretty darn good now. And I think it's really nice and stable. So let's try it again. You Grizzly imitation mill and a Grizzly accessory. Well, that looks like it's 2/1000ths to the left of 0 there. I'm going to drop the thing down again a little. That looks like it's pretty much 0. I'm going to tighten the little arm if I can. There. Okay. Let's go back to the other side. I don't know if it might be slot in the stem. I can't say. I've had this since the 70s. Alright, it didn't change any, so I don't think it's slot in the stem. That's 1/1000th, so probably, I don't know why it didn't duplicate the 2/1000ths. Probably something I did wrong, but feels like there might be some grit on that table. So let me get something. We'll just run him right off the end of the table here. Alright, so let's go back to it. And let's move it again so it's dead on. Let me unlatch the little lock. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll just turn the dial. Yeah, looks like 1/1000th over 10 inches. That's not so bad, you know, 10 inches and 1/1000th. So, rather than bore you guys, of course, I'm going to check all these other little ridges here. As you can see, there's several of them here. I'm going to check them all, but I'm not going to make you watch it. And I guess you couldn't help but see that in the background. This guy right here, the slot cleaner for milling machines, and Wes Howe brought that back from the 2018 bash and brought it back for me. So I thought that was pretty nice. You know, it's come from Keith Finner's channel. Alright, I'm going to put you to sleep while I play with this, and then I'll tell you how it came out. Well, I'm glad I made that sky hook for the camera, because it was really neat to hold it there for me while I used my hands for other things, and it gave you a good steady view. Alright, let's get on to the table. Okay, so I've elevated the camera a little bit, off here to an angle, and zoom in some on the readings. I see I've got this. No, I don't. Okay, I don't have anything in the way. Alright, now I've got, well, you can't see really good because of the shadow, but anyway, I wrote it down. Going this direction, this was a 0.001 increase in level. This particular piece here was 0.002. This one was 0.003, and this one was 0.003 at this end, higher than the other end. Alright, now when we come to going across like that, I had a 0 here, a 0 here, a +2, and a +4. And some of that could be that I didn't get it perfectly level. If I were going to machine something and try to get it just right, I'd try to move this thing around to get it just exactly as close to the same reading as I could, and I'd probably shim this end down here, so, you know, underneath, to make all of that I could disappear. And when I measured across here, I ran across some of the Sharpie marks, but I won't try to measure them and say how much they would have made the dial deviate, because as far as I know, only Tom Lipton can measure it that close, at least amongst the channels I watch. Alright, so I think this is going to be a wonderful thing to have, and I'm going to look around and see if I got something that I can mill on an angle just for the heck of it. We need to try it out, don't we? Make some chips. Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.